What's up, DMP?
What?
What's up, DMP?
Say what? Say what?
What's up, DMP?
Yes.
What's up, DMP? Sky, join in.
Yes.
What's up, DMP?
Come on.
What's up, DMP?
One more time now.
What's up, DMP?
Yes.
What's up, DMP? All right, welcome
Nailed it.
back to round two.
Killed
So our table has gotten a little more friendlier.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
we
so I
have
wasn't friendly enough. All right, I got it. I got it. Don't worry.
One more
I
friend.
got it.
One more friend. It's okay.
Loud and clear.
All right, so we have Skylar joining us. She was also a former broadcast student. So you two both flew in just to be part of the show, which is crazy.
I did like, a lovely sleepy nap time ride.
Yeah.
Skylar and her friend Hannah, I can't speak for you got to speak for yourself. I'm sorry.
Well, Hannah came down to visit me because she lives further north than I do, like an 8-hour drive, and I've done that twice to go see her. But she came down to Vancouver, and we did a tourist day, and then got on the plane and flew to Toronto, had a 3-hour layover, and then had to come to Thunder Bay, which in and of itself would have been fine, except for the fact that I have this massive aerial hoop that I'm traveling with, and I'm like, I really hope that this makes it to Thunder Bay, because if it does, I've come for no reason.
And you're gonna probably like hurt someone real bad with no traces left.
Because once we moved out to Vancouver, broadcasting and editing was always something that I really wanted to do since I was like probably in grade 7, because my dad was a comm-tech teacher in high school. So I've always had access to cameras and Final Cut and filming things and
That's how I
editing
started
things.
out too. Yeah.
Yeah, so I've always been playing around with that stuff and like in his classroom and like shooting stuff and been exposed to it a lot. So that's why I went into it. But then I was like, you know what? I need to find something else that I want to do for me. So then, because my mom didn't let me do girly sports when I was a kid, I was like, I want to do gymnastics and dance. And I was like, I'm too old for that. So I went into circus because, that's not more dangerous.
Yes.
So I did aerial silks and tumbling and transitioned to trapeze, not flying trapeze because I'm afraid of heights, which is also why I quit doing silks. And then aerial hoop, which is what I'm doing in the Folly show, which is why Thomas messaged me. He's like, what would you need to make that happen for Follies? And I'm like, I mean, I could justify buying a hoop. I was actually going to buy a trapeze, but then my instructor was like, no, you need like minimum certain heights. And I was like, okay, never mind, fine.
Question.
Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt you, but what is Follies?
What is Follies?
Mm-hmm.
See, my best way to describe that to people when everyone asks is I say that it's like a drag show and that there's a lot of lip syncing going on. A lot of lip syncing and a lot of exaggeration. But realistically, lip synced musical, let's be honest.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
my goodness. Yeah.
If you have to compare it to something.
I was
Yeah.
gonna call it a
that
lip sync.
is a good
I was gonna
comparison.
call it a
Like,
variety
works.
show, like a lip sync variety show.
Well, it depends on what year you're talking about.
This year is a variety show. There's every single genre, every single song, but that's because we are celebrating our 20th anniversary of the club.
Yeah.
So-
Because I was in the 11th and 12th Follies. So you were in the
I was
9th
in the
and
9th
10th.
and 10th. Yeah.
And which were the 11th and 12th and the 9th and 10th?
11 and 12. So the 11th was Folly's storybook, which was Princess Fred and her 18 sisters. She has to get married. So she goes to rescue Prince Jitters out of the tower, which was the staircase in the Suki Lounge, which is the greatest thing ever.
Oh, I have a story about this. I'm not. If you come to Follies, you're
And
gonna see.
so
this.
it was like it was like the subjection of like the prince rescues the princess from the tower, but the prince is in the tower, so he had to be on stage the whole time, which was hilarious. Never got a break. And that was a lot of storybook characters, so like it played a little bit on like the Shrek story where all the characters are in the swamp. And the fairy tale characters are helping Princess Fred rescue the prince from the tower, and it was so much fun. And then the next year was Night at the Movies, which was like a 1940s. Thomas really loves throwbacks.
Yeah.
Oh,
To
yeah.
different decades. It was a 1940s murder mystery where the first act someone gets murdered, and then the second act is everybody explaining why they didn't do it. So
Nice.
there's every single
What was that one called?
at the movies.
Oh, okay. No, I did seance. Or no, that was a haunted hike. Yeah,
Haunted
haunted
hike.
hike. That was a seance because the CCPAC, Confederation College Performing Arts Club, also does Halloween themed, I guess, variety shows or haunted hikes or murder mysteries type things.
Halloween themed walking plays.
Yeah. which we've now transitioned out of because everywhere else in town does them. And
Oh, really?
Yeah. But we do
feel
murder
ripped off.
mysteries now, which is super fun.
Yeah. There was one called Seance, which I went to. I think it was a couple of years back. Were you in that?
I wasn't in it, but I went to it.
Oh,
Yeah.
so we were in the same room. We never
Right?
That's amazing. No, like I went to that one. That was really good. I
Mm-hmm.
really, really enjoyed that one. I totally forgot what I was talking about. Sorry to interrupt you. Don't
Your 9th and 10th shows, and
Oh,
the 12th
yeah.
show was at the movies.
At the movies, yeah.
Yeah.
Murder mystery,
Yeah.
which was fun because it was like there was dance numbers and everyone was trying to explain like their alibis were their solos, and then the people whose spoiler alert, the people who did it, because there was 3 options of like much like with like there was a vote, so you got to choose which of the 3 people you thought would do it, and each one had a song that would explain why they were
Yeah.
the ones that killed the executive.
That's creative.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, but you could tell which ones were the ones that were lying because their songs did not focus on themselves. It focused on somebody else or tried to place the blame on somebody else. And I'm really disappointed because the opening night of At the Movies, I was in the number Mambo number 5, where it was basically the director was blaming the new head actor boy and saying that he's the one that killed him because like he's a ladies' man. So it's me, Donis, and then 2 other people doing like this like salsa dance thing.
So wait, Mama number 5 by Lou Bega?
No, like the original one. I was disappointed too.
I know. I was like, 1.
I was
2,
just
3, 4,
as
5.
disappointed, but it was like the same beat. Like he
Yeah.
just did his vocals over top of it. But so we're doing the dance, and like it's supposed to be like he's a ladies' man, and like that's why he's the one that did it because he was jealous because he kept taking all the ladies. And I'm looking out at the audience. We're doing the dance, and all of a sudden I just see everyone laughing, and I'm like, this isn't a comedy. Why is everyone laughing? And I look to my left, and I see Steven's just stuck in Donis's hair like this. Because he turned her around and his buttons got caught in her bun. Oh my God. And I was like, oh my God, no.
The show must go on.
The show must go on. So we had to like walk over. I held on to her and her hair got ripped off of its buttons. And we're just like, okay, and finish the dance, everyone. Keep going. And
Killed it.
oh God.
honestly.
And then we went off the stage and I was so disappointed because nobody recorded it. Nobody took pictures. It only lives in my memory and the memory of everybody who was there.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I'm sure like the college has like security cameras, so they probably
wish.
recorded
Yeah.
it.
Hey, you know what?
Yeah.
I'm sure you can figure it out.
You know,
Like you'd think that once you start laughing at that, take out your phone, please.
Yeah, especially nowadays, like
on.
everybody's all about that.
We had
Cell phones in
iPhones.
hand,
We had
like,
iPhones for Follies 12.
Yeah.
And we were just talking about like the industry of like iPhones, not those cell phones really in general, just recording, using it to record like
Oh,
little
I
shoots and
shot
stuff.
documentaries on my iPhone.
Versus like DSLRs where your main focus is just the camera and just video and just recording and just pictures, right? But if you get a notification, granted, like you can put it on silent, but if you get a notification and you just you can either wait for it to like go back up so you don't have to deal with it, or you can swipe it across. But as soon as you swipe it across, you get that vibration, and then you get that vibration in the shot, and then you have to edit it out, and then whether you're going to add effects into it, like
That's
there's
why
a
you put your
whole-
phone on airplane mode when you're shooting with it.
Yeah.
Rookie mistakes.
Yeah, see, this is why
Yeah.
I'm old news, okay? I get it. I get
No,
it.
I
Not
literally-
friendly. I'm old news. I'm taking offense to this.
I pitched my documentary in film as like on lobby rats because I was an RA my third year.
Lobby-
and
what is that?
Lobby rats were the people that would just come down to when you're working in the office and they just hang out in the window and you're like, I'm supposed to be
Interesting,
working,
okay.
and they'd just be there and they'd be like, what are you doing? What are you working on? Hey, have you seen this thing? And I'm like, why are you
I'm just here to work. Like, leave me be.
Like,
I wasn't one
because
of those.
as an RA, your job is to like, you're supposed to make sure people sign in when they come in buildings, you know who's there. You have to walk the floors once every hour, like every single floor. You have to make sure that like the bathrooms are clean and no one's like smoking pot in their room. And then, but there's these people in the window, and you're like, I literally can't see what's happening past your body because you're a door.
Wait. Hold on. Let's roll this back. People smoking pot in the rooms?
Oh yeah, it happened.
Yeah.
They thought they were sneaky because they're like, I have this water bottle that I've stuffed a bunch of dryer sheets into. I'm gonna blow that out the window. It's like it smells like pot and dryer sheets. You're not fooling
Yeah.
anybody, Jim.
Which, despite being legal now, not allowed on campus. Everybody.
5 cameras.
Look at that
Disclaimer.
put in. Look at you go. Oh my God.
Speaking
Adam's
of
on it.
equipment, have you guys seen any of our new cameras, or have you heard of them? So
What you guys used to shoot on?
Yeah.
Panasonic
Yeah,
something or other.
Panasonic, yeah.
170s or
Maybe
200s?
there might have been the 170s, like for the little stuff, but we usually just use these giant ass like
Yeah,
broadcast
over shoulder
cameras.
camera. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I had like 2 Sony HDMI ones. They were just like
The ones
in
with
my
the
second
P2
year.
cards.
Yeah,
Yeah.
They were
Massive.
just
Yeah.
introduced in my my going out year. So that's those. That was a high tech thing in my year. But like now I hear you guys have like red camera, like a red.
Yeah,
We have an old red
we
camera
have
from the film
one
program.
red,
Told you.
Yeah.
and then we have the Blackmagic Ursa minis. So
Ooh,
those are like
Blackmagic cameras.
4K or slow mo, not both, but you know,
Yeah, the slower it goes, the lower the resolution.
Yeah.
But so cool.
The slower it goes, the lower it goes.
yeah.
Well, because you need to sacrifice in one way. If you need the slow the speeds, listen.
All right, so
Anyway,
Quincy's broken.
which year did you
No.
graduate from here?
Well, if we're doing Follies 2020 or Follies 20 in 2020, it would have been 2012 is when I graduated
Okay.
broadcasting.
So you basically left, and then you came
Yeah.
in. Okay.
Yeah, so there's no overlap in our years.
Yeah.
Actually, our friend over there in the corner.
She's our
Anna,
overlap.
She's our overlap. She's the connecting piece between us two.
Yeah.
Nice.
that's awesome.
But she was in film, so we kind of don't talk about that.
Yeah.
I
Sorry,
wanted to be in
Steve.
film. It wasn't low key. I like wanted to be in film. When I
that's why
wasn't
that's
in the
a
studio,
strong connection.
I
between-
was over there.
Us is like,
Yeah.
we were in Follies together, which was amazing. That was like it was a beautiful show. But other than that, that's when we like cut it off, right? Yeah.
Done.
She's shaking her head at me. She knows it's all love,
so
baby. It's all love, baby girl. Yeah,
Well, like, what's like really cool about the program now is it's like broadcast and film kind of mixed together
Well,
as like
yeah.
a weird mishmash. So like we get to like play with not films equipment because they have the like RE Alexas now and all that. But
They have more than one?
Yeah.
Oh my God. We weren't even allowed to take that thing outside.
yeah,
They're like,
Yeah.
you can
I
use
heard.
it, but not if it's cold, not if it's snowing, not if it's raining, not if you're going to leave the building. And I'm like,
So where can we use it? Like what?
if you had a studio space or if you were shooting indoors only, exclusively indoors. And I was like, well,
Like what college students could have a studio space?
it's like, friends, we live in Thunder Bay.
yeah,
It's always snowing. When would you like me to use this camera?
yeah.
But it was funny though because they had someone come in and do like a whole presentation because I was there the year they got the Alexa, or like the year after was when I went over to film, and they had this whole presentation. And in the presentation, they show an Alexa and it's like burnt to a crisp. Like they're like the studio or the warehouse that it was being held in caught fire, but we plugged it in and it still works. But we couldn't take it outside.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's,
You couldn't expose it to the air.
That's awesome. There's something that I wanted to ask too. So I'm not actually able to go to your show tonight for Follies.
How dare you?
And I know.
You know what?
but Friday
Just
and
get-
Saturday.
just- there's
But
a door.
Listen.
There's
all
the
right, There's
door.
a second piece to the story. All right, hold on. I came to watch it last night.
Oh, yeah.
I was there, and I have to say, like, it was awesome. I have to admit, no spoilers or anything. No,
Yeah.
like, you guys killed it.
Can you tell we only got here on Wednesday?
Like, I couldn't tell. I was so into it. Believe me, I was like the only one in the audience, and I was like, do I clap? I'm like, I want to clap. I'm like, I'm gonna be
Always.
the only noise in this.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm like,
Always.
I'm on it. Like, don't
We're
worry
in the
about it.
back like, yes,
Yeah.
kill it.
Yes, queen.
Yeah.
Yes.
And as soon
Do
as
it
somebody
again.
else clapped,
Yes,
I'm
girl.
like perfect. I'm in.
Well, like,
you know, like
this is gonna come out after the show,
It
and
is,
the
yeah.
only person in there that hasn't seen it is Mitch, so we can spoil it, and Mitch can just like.
What
cover it.
spoilers? There's no story. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
he's screaming. He's like,
Come
no,
on,
don't,
man.
Yeah.
don't do it.
Come on.
Well, like, you know, we have the aerial hoop, we have the cheerleading, we
I've
have
got a hoop flow routine going on in there somewhere because
Yeah.
that was sprung on me.
during Prince Ali with like the hoops and all that. Yeah.
Oh my goodness! Like there are some like as a I guess vet-ish sort of as a like returning member of like the Follies family. There is some like talent in like some of these new year like the first years.
Hair was terrifying. I'm like,
Oh.
how did you guys get to this point?
Yeah. Oh, not just that, but like I guess there's more people stepping out of their comfort zones, and that's what it was for me. Like when I first, I'm sure Michelle told you the story of me like trying to find like another black person on campus.
Yeah.
It was like
Michelle has definitely told it.
Yeah.
I was like,
Faintly.
there was
yeah.
like 4 Asians when I got here, and I'm only half Asian.
Yeah, and like
Yeah.
so, like, but at the same time, it was like me and like maybe 20 other black people on campus, and it was. And Michelle said, and she's right. It was like, where's Waldo? Where can I find the next black person? And you know what's funny? After I met Michelle yesterday and she said that, I walked outside to like the Timmy's at the end of the college, and sure enough, I saw another black person, and I was like, oh hey, what's going? This is kind of coincidental.
Yeah.
But yeah, like it was kind of weird because there wasn't too much diversification in 2010, and it was the 2000s. You think that things would start like amalgamating a little bit more, like people would start coming to like, no, it was all in the
small town, though.
GTA. Granted, it is a small town.
Yeah.
It was
The city.
The GTA is more like the hub for international people,
Yeah.
but then you get people that are nowadays. Holy
It's a hub. Like
cripes.
it's crazy.
It is absolutely astronomical. Like I'm so like happy. At the same time, I'm like kind of like, oh, okay. How do I adjust myself now? Oh, interesting. But like I'm really like it's really nice to see that there's like a whole lot more diversity, not just with black people, but like with the indigenous community, with especially international students coming from India, from China, from Laos, from Taipei, Taiwan, like everywhere, Japan, like sure, like South Korea. There's probably people coming in, and it's not just in the college. Like there's people in the residence as well, and for them to like build that community and that sense of like camaraderie in like and rather than bring it to campus in their program, I think that's just like it's a beautiful thing.
Well, like even in our club, like last year, it was like we had a like small cast, not a lot of diversity, but this year, huge cast with everybody
There's
of
50
every race.
people.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm
I
sorry.
thought Storybook was a big cast because I found the pictures when I was like cleaning up my garage like last year, and I found the cast photo that we took on the stairs by the cafeteria.
Oh, yeah.
And like we're just like cascading down the steps, and it's like, but it's the cast and the crew.
Yeah.
And there was probably about like maybe 20, 30 people in the total, including people who were working behind the scenes. So it was just like when we got here and like it was just 30 people on stage, I was like, no,
Yeah.
this is too many people. You're taking up 4 hallways upstairs.
Right. Especially during the opening and closing numbers when Thomas is like, make 2 lines, and it's like, Thomas, I can't.
Make 2 lines.
can't.
Would you like us to go up the stairs,
Let's
off the
start
side
floating.
of the stage?
Right?
Yeah.
Behind those 2 big screens, which look beautiful. Don't get me wrong, but like, it's very hard
you
when
can't
it's
see me
covering
behind
up
it.
an entire like section where we used to act. But you
Oh
know,
man, it's like this show is gonna be amazing. Mitch, I'm really sorry that
You're
you're not able
missing
to
out.
make it. You're missing out, man.
no, Mitch.
Mitch is coming. Mitch is going.
Mitch
I
is,
wasn't.
Mitch is coming tonight,
Yeah.
but Braden
I'm not.
couldn't make it to either
Yeah,
of
that's
those
why I
2
went
nights.
last night.
So
Well, I hope I don't fall out of my hoop then.
yeah,
I'm not gonna lie. I was like, but whenever there's a big thing like that, like for instance, like their gymnastics routine, and then I was like, oh man, I don't know. Like, there's always that doubt in
That-
my mind where I'm
that
like,
fear,
I'm like,
like,
man, I'm like,
oh.
I
I've
want
been-
them to kill it. You know,
I've been
like-
training I've been learning circus for 3 years.
Okay.
So, and I've only been working on the routine for about a month and a half. And it also changes every night because
Yeah.
I get there and I'm like, oh, you know what? This isn't working. Or like the curtain doesn't open at the exact point that I'm hoping it would. So I'm like, I'll just change this. And then I'll like turn around and realize that everyone's doing something weird. And I'm like, I'm just going to do this thing.
Keep
And
doing my
Surprise.
thing.
Oh, and we got to make sure that like you don't like accidentally hurt people.
I feel
Well,
like that's on everybody else.
That's not my
to
job. My job's to
avoid,
make sure I don't
yeah,
die.
Yeah,
right.
they have to know
The,
the
like
spatial
6 foot
awareness.
Yeah.
radius, which honestly, like you're like pretty high up there too.
Oh, when I'm under the hoop, I'm like nearly smacking my face off that stage.
Oh really?
It's like I'm like, okay, and just curl it back ever so slightly. Okay, we got it. And Hannah's like, you're okay, right? And I'm like, it's fine. Don't worry. It's fine.
We got to make sure, like not that you have to hurt people. I will literally grab people by the stomach
Do it.
or other areas
Please
and
do.
pull them. So yeah. Oh yeah, you too. Okay, Hannah's signaling that. Yeah, me too. Yeah.
Yeah,
I'll grab
Hannah's my
people.
designated bodyguard, so
Beautiful.
she helps me spin around if I want to
Love
get
it.
like a little bit of extra movement. But she's also like, no,
Yeah. No, you don't. Yeah. You
don't walk under here.
Yeah. Yeah. So we're approaching that hour mark
Are you
of
serious?
of our podcast.
What?
Do you guys still have a lot more to say? Because like we can like keep this going, or if you
I
want,
just got here.
right? Special 4-hour edition. Sorry, Thomas, we're not going to be in the show.
We're We're busy.
Yeah.
We're catching up.
Yeah.
just
A
hang
little
out,
come join?
podcast.
a good time. You know,
Yeah.
just talking to people.
Yeah. So
talking to
now
friends.
you have a podcast too, right?
I have 2 podcasts that I work on.
What?
So
Awesome.
let's
What are they
plug them.
called?
Yo.
Well, one of them is the Just Good PC Games podcast.
Just good PC games.
Yeah, which you can find at justgoodpcgames.com/podcast.
Nice.
Look at that
Look at that
smooth.
plug.
Oh my
God.
God. It's like you're
We
a
will-
graduate for this program or
We'll
something.
have a link in the description.
The other
Steve-
one is not isn't live yet, but it is a twin podcast with my twin sister called.
You have a
That's-
twin?
Yep, identical twin.
You could just
The
hear.
podcast laughing.
Blown minds.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's called That's Twinteresting,
podcast.
and it's
I love it.
That's
It's-
a really good name.
yeah. So the shitty way to tell people what that one's about. It's me and my sister shit talking other twins, but it's not.
Nice. Okay.
It's we just find a bunch of interesting or like
Twin facts.
noteworthy twins. No, actually, I wanted it to be twin facts, and I wanted to call it Twincyclopedia, and she's like, "No, that's dumb." She fought me, and she gave me like this whole list of names. She's like, "How about like the Twinquisition?" And I was like, "No, Taylor, we're not calling it the Twinquisition." Twintervention. What was some of the other ones she gave me?
I have to ask. Do triplets count?
That might be season 2.
Cool. 'cause
Are
I'm
you a triplet?
I am.
Oh
I'm
my
actually, I'm
goodness.
actually a triplet, yeah.
I love this.
Are you
freaking
all
program.
identical or only 2?
No, like none of us. Like
Fraternal, all of you?
Yeah, all fraternal. Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah, crazy. So
Ooh, I got one
just
thing
wanted
to
for
say.
that. What's up?
So make sure that if you ever have a lav mic on, you're not like nervously like doing this, especially
Yes.
like 23 times. In
Let's all
live,
do it
like,
into the
this
microphone.
2-minute thing. Like I'm sorry.
Just hear my calluses.
Yeah, I just heard James go, please, in my ear. So
Granted, like it was like my first time, and I was like nervous, so I'm doing it softer. I'm doing it a lot softer. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm really sorry, but I gotta do this. But like I was so nervous. I didn't know what to say. I was like saying, yes. So yeah, the thing that I wanted to talk about was a little bit off to the side of what I actually wanted to say. So, and the lav mic was literally on my chest, and in post, like after I got like delaved and went into like the studio over here, like I swear everyone wanted to throw something
They were
at
like,
me.
don't.
Stop.
Yeah, my podcast, because we're all in different spaces,
sorry, I'm
I
really
have
sorry.
3 rules. My rules are: don't eat into your microphone, mute yourself.
That's fair. Yeah, that makes sense.
Don't play video games while we're talking, and no typey while you're speaking, because they like to do this thing where they'll be like speaking, but they're just like typing on their keyboard, and I'm like, listen, I'm cutting up the dead air.
Yeah. Whenever that's like the biggest thing too. Whenever I'm in Discord, like I have one of those big mechanical keyboards, and so
Yeah.
all you can hear is just
Cherry
like,
blue switches?
Yeah.
The worst.
Yeah. Oh, I'm going across,
Oh,
and my
man.
friend just loves to like no matter what he'll be like, oh, I'm gonna have a snack. We're like, okay, cool. And he comes back, it's like chips, just all on the mic, and we're like, what are you doing? Stop it! Like,
But like my rules were literally no typey because it's such a pain to edit it out. Because I'm one of those people who edits out like all the dead air, all the false stops. Like I edit
yeah.
out everything. It takes me so long.
But what about like fries though? Like if you're going to Wendy's and you grab a bag of fries and you're like, bam, I'm vegetarian. That's why I said fries and I think burgers. Like, so like, what if you grab fries and like you're treating the fries on it? You can't really hear that, right? It's soft.
Oh, no, you can still hear it.
Are you
because
serious?
like ASMR sounds like you can hear them
totally forgot
chewing
about that whole
into
industry
the
thing.
microphone.
Yeah, it's
You
like
know?
it's fine as long as you're not
Like
talking while doing it.
this.
If there's a good amount of space between you eating your food or typing on your keyboard, I don't really care because we're all in different spaces when we're recording my podcast. So
Oh,
like
wow.
if you're typing on your computer, it doesn't affect me at all. Although sometimes if Tom and I get too loud when we're recording, you can hear him in my microphone or me in his because we're like in our own offices, but mine doesn't have a door.
Yeah.
See now, how do you sync up the times?
I start recording first, and then as everyone comes in, they say, I'm recording. And when they say that, I put a marker in my timeline. So
Okay,
when I get the audio
smart,
files, I
okay.
just drop them in.
See now, that's Twinteresting. Did I say that right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, the twin podcast is like we're trying to fit in as many like stupid twin
Twin puns.
yeah, twin puns.
I mean, you
as
might as
possible.
well, right? With a name like
Yeah,
that.
so we're
it's
like
freaking awesome.
the beginning of the episode is like, welcome to That's Interesting. Let's get twin to it.
Man, it's right out of the gate.
Yeah.
Like that's awesome.
And it's like there's a fight at the beginning. It's great. Like the opening is my favorite part, and Hannah's like, you can never re-record this. Even though Taylor really wants to, I'm like, no, we're leaving it because it's so good.
Yeah.
So like, all right, sorry. I guess last thing. here's a question for you two.
Sure,
Being in the program.
absolutely, why
Yeah,
not?
of course you get a question. What? Where do you want to end up after the program?
So for me,
Because I know it's internship time, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So, and I'm sure
It's
Michelle's
creeping up.
been talking,
Quick.
talking
It's
really
super
fast.
quick.
So yeah, it does come up. Quick.
yeah, and even just thinking about it now, like it's already February.
Yeah,
like, I'm
exactly.
We got like 2 or 3 months until internships. We're like, oh my god. But I know that one of the places that Michelle
Earmarks?
has found for me
Yeah.
kind of deal was this place called Encore in Vancouver. Like we're not 100% like confirmed yet, but she said it's looking good. Like Steve's brother works there, and so there's like a contact there kind of deal. And
yeah.
so that's where I'm hoping. It's like as far as I can tell, they've worked on like major television shows like
You got 2 Vancouverites right in this building, right
Hannah's
here.
like ish.
Sweet
Hannah
ish.
lives 8
Okay.
hours from Vancouver.
But Hannah's like Ontario native, so she doesn't get to claim the whole rights. All right, sorry.
So am I.
But
I grew up in Mississauga.
That's right. Oh my god, why do I keep forgetting this?
I moved to Vancouver like 4 years ago
oh nice.
on a whim because my husband works for the Actors Union. They're like, we need an IT person in the BC office. Do you want to move? And I was like, yeah, okay.
Why not?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. Actually,
Sure.
holy crap. Okay, but yeah, that's kind of where I see myself. And
Okay.
like kind of like the editing suite kind of deal, you know. And like I still gotta work through it, you know. Like there's some things that I still gotta like kind of like look up and like finesse, but you know, it's kind of where I'm going, where I'm heading, and see where
Very
it
nice.
goes. So
Adam, what about you?
Well, like beyond get rich quick with YouTube, like I think for internship I want to go to PlayStation down in like San Diego because there's like a creative
Awesome.
specialist job where it's all aspects of the production area, and like that kind of this like program gets us set up for that. So I want to like try to apply for it, even though it's typically U.S. only. But
No,
you know,
go for it.
Yeah,
You
Go
absolutely
for a jack
Right?
of all
go for
trades
Just-
type deal.
just
Yeah.
have to full send it. You know, it's full send Friday. You know,
it. Full send Friday.
yeah, we've got to do it. But like, if not there, I might go to like Vancouver with all the boys because
With all the
there's like 6 of us
60
going.
Holy
Well, you're gonna need all
so-
6 of you to afford an apartment. So.
Yeah.
yeah, so,
Yeah, that is
yeah,
it's not too friendly.
You're gonna live in a 1-bedroom. Good luck.
yeah.
Have fun.
Bunk
Enjoy.
beds.
Triple decker bunk beds.
Yeah,
true.
As long as you don't do karate in the garage, you know.
yeah.
Referencing to
There's
a
no
certain movie.
garages in Vancouver.
Oh,
You can't
sorry.
afford that stuff. It's expensive.
Oh my lord. But that no, absolutely go for it. Like I had no clue what I wanted to. I knew I was specializing in camera work. Like I don't know, I was just like riding the high off of that documentary because it was like honestly, when you shoot a sword, like when you go and rack like focus a sword like that is this close to you, and you're doing that, like I just want to do all the camera work now.
Yeah.
Right, but. What in hindsight I should know, I should have like kind of divvied myself up between editing, camera work, like production, going into client meetings, setting up the whole thing. But at the same time, I implore you to go for it. Like, don't be afraid of asking questions for certain people, and like just reaching out via email. Like, just shoot your shot, as they say. Shoot your shot Saturdays, which is tomorrow.
Yeah, shoot your shot Saturdays. Yeah,
Write that down. Write that down. Do it now. Write that down.
Make that a
Seriously.
t-shirt.
Seriously, yeah, seriously. We got an entire week, like Monday to Friday. We just got Saturday. We're golden. Look, thank you, Queen. Oh
And
my
then
God.
Sunday, sleep in Sunday.
Yeah.
Because you need a break.
sleeping Sunday or for the church.
We've done it. We've done it. Dennis, write it down. Do it. We're good.
Sunday is the
You got,
Lord's
a whole,
Day.
you got a whole set of socks for the week.
Yeah. Yeah.
There you
Oh
go.
my God. There's our merch.
Soft.
There's our other merch.
Yeah.
Like, oh, that's awesome.
Put that in the merch store.
Yeah,
Oh my God,
Yeah,
I'm
so-
boiling, man. Jeez.
Right?
You're doing it
It's
wrong.
right. Well, I'm impressed that we've done this for about an hour. Like, honestly, I'm not gonna lie.
You've
Like,
done
that's-
this for
Yeah.
about an hour. I've been here
Hey,
for like, I'm
no,
not
the
wearing a watch.
conversation's been super interesting though. Like we've kept it up.
Yeah.
It's been solid.
No,
so.
no, like sometimes you get people that come in here, especially like maybe grads that come in here and like, yeah, so I did this. Not really interesting.
I made
trying to get
myself
back.
interesting. Let's be
Yeah.
real.
Yeah.
They're like, what do you want to talk? What do you want to be after school? I'm like, I want to be that weird kid that went and did something that was completely off the wall.
yeah.
Which honestly makes for the best kind of stories.
Oh yeah.
At the end of it.
Right.
So.
And then you get to come back and like hey,
And I get to
everybody.
come back and show off. And it's like, it's
Yeah.
funny though, because when we did my first hike with the Sibley Hall performers, is what we were back
Yeah,
then.
that's right. Yeah, it was.
they had like little hoop things and like, what's your talent? My only talent back then was I can fall over like the toys in Toy Story.
Did you get a chance to use that one?
Yes, actually, more than once. Because they were like, so in your scene, what's going to happen is you're part of the Envy 7 Deadly Sins. She's going to snap your neck and you're going to die. And I was like, okay.
Oh, so you know.
I'm on it.
Just that comfortable with it. Okay, yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah.
What's next? What's for dinner? Like, I got this.
What's going on? Yeah.
Been working on that for years. That's been my thing since I was like 4.
Hey,
Toy Story's my jam.
You know what? Gotta just full send it. You know, either way. All right. Any?
We'll send and then shoot your shot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tomorrow, yeah.
That is true.
Yeah. Any last words of wisdom for any up and coming?
Don't go to
DMP
Japan
students?
without an EpiPen, especially if you're allergic to anything like nuts or sesame seeds and you have anaphylaxis reactions.
That
so,
sounds dangerous.
Yeah.
That
But
sounds-
if you speak Japanese, it kind of like evens itself out.
Yeah.
Because you're like,
Solid.
no nuts. And they're like, okay. And you're like, please, no nuts, I'll die.
Pinatsu wa arimasu desu.
Can you speak like fluent Japanese?
Can you just say-
I've
can
been
you
like
say, "I
I've been
don't wanna
racking this in
die"?
my brain for like the past hour. I just wanted to know like, can you actually
Shin
speak
wa nai
Japanese?
desu.
Whoa.
Nice, nice, solid.
Yeah. I don't speak
I'm
Japanese. I
impressed.
know
Thoroughly
sign language
impressed.
ish.
Yeah, no, it's been like a wild ride. Like I teach martial arts in like a Japanese karate, Okinawan Japanese style martial karate. I have been like studying Japanese since I was like 5. Like just watching anime,
awesome.
granted,
Yeah.
but
That
it
counts.
took me a lot of years of watching anime just to like get it into my mind, and then I actually decided to go on my own, like learn. Okay, what does this sentence mean? What does this sentence mean? And fun
you
fact,
write
fun
it?
story. Before we have to like run out of time and things like
Yeah.
that, because I know this is gonna be a hell of a thing to edit. But
Good luck, everybody else.
you know those little animes where like the guy walks into the girl's washroom and then he gets freaked out because a girl walks out.
Yeah.
Yeah, living example. Right here. and to put the cherry on top of that, I was at the Butokudan, which is pretty much a martial arts training hall. It's really nice, really beautiful out in the open. And they were training Iaido, which is like the documentary that I shot, like the art of drawing the sword,
Oh,
right?
that's awesome.
So
Okay.
you have like 40 to like 56 to like 60, 70-year-old men and women training with like heavy iron swords, right? So when I walk into the washroom, guess who walks out? A woman with a nice heavy sword and her hakama on, and
Like,
my
gonna
mind's
die.
going a mile a minute thinking, so this is how I die. Okay, all right, cool.
Cool.
I lived a good life.
Yeah.
Were you like, did you live on res? In the residence? Were you an East Side or a West Side kid?
I was an East Side kid.
Oh, you were one of those spoiled brats with your own bathroom.
Oh, Devin.
Yeah, yeah, East Side. You already know.
Yeah.
The West Side had co-ed bathrooms, so that was.
Yeah,
So
that
you'd
was
you'd walk
interesting.
in and you'd be brushing your teeth. Some guy would walk in and be like, "Oh my God, I'm so sorry," and I'm like, "Friend,
You can just relax.
it's for both.
I'm not
It's
doing
a
a
shared
tease.
It's a toothbrush."
So you said that you can sign and you can speak Japanese.
Japanese, a little bit of French, a little bit of Spanish.
Do you want to say "What's up, DMP" in Japanese, and you can sign "What's up, DMP"? Oh yeah.
DMP, yokozo yoroshiku onegaishimasu.
All right. Perfect.
Look at that. What a way to sign off.
Yeah,
That's a good way.
That's our
Sign off.
that's our sign off. All right. Thank
Puns
you.
never
yeah.
stop.
That's good.
Thank you guys for watching. If you guys want us to link any social medias in the
I got none. I'm
in the
good. I'm
in the
good. Once I start though,
description.
Yeah, we can
I'm
definitely
coming
Yeah.
back.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's websites
back.
for both my podcasts. The podcasts are going to be linked on them when they're done. So it's justgoodpcgames.com/podcasts, and that's twinteresting.com.
Oh, I have like I guess my Instagram. I don't really have. I have my pictures from Japan on Instagram.
Okay.
Which is pretty
Why not?
good.
Yeah.
Like a video.
What's your handle?
My Instagram handle is @Quinky QUINKYA.
Nice.
QUINKYA.
You got it.
Perfect. All right.
Solid. Thank
So
you guys so
we
much
will
for coming in.
we'll see you guys later on tonight
Yeah.
during the show.
Sorry, we
and-
won't see you, Rain. I'm really, really sorry.
It's
but,
okay. I had a lot of fun
I'm
here.
disappointed in
it's
you.
good.
It's okay.
Yeah.
My friend who lives in Thunder Bay also like just found out that I was still in Thunder Bay. She was like, "Oh, I want to go see." Oh no, it's sold
It's
out.
sold
Oh, my
out both
gosh.
nights. Like,
Yeah, weird flex, but okay.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Well, thank you guys for coming in. And what's up, DMP? We'll talk to you guys next time.
Ta-ta for now.
Bye,
All right.
guys.